Hi Alex, this is Andy. I'm just going to give you a tour of the website template that we have going so far and show you how you can change it. So this is the homepage so far. It's under this address. Once we get it all set up and running, we'll take away this Drupal-6.14 so that just b-d avalanche.org is the avalanche, is the address. But right now, while we're working on it, we'll have it here so that people don't accidentally stumble upon it. So this is what your homepage looks like right now. You've got a menu, some social media stuff, the most recent observations, announcements, news, upcoming events, sponsors, and a footer here. Obviously, you're going to want to change some things, and I've done some changes to personalize it to you as per what you asked, and haven't done others so that you can do them and learn while you're doing them. I'm going to try and walk you through how to do all that during this video. So the first thing you're going to do is log in to the website. Go up to the address bar, type user, and that will take you to the login page. Enter your username, I'll be sending it to you, and your password, log in, and then you get to the page that says you're logged in. It'll tell you how long you've been a member for. Yours will say a while. Mine says a while, but and then it'll give you the chance to edit. You can edit your password and contact info and username here. Your contact information is here, and then this is the file browser, which will allow you to show you all the files that are on the server right now associated with this website. So what images are there, so forth and so on. But for now, let's go back to the home page. You'll notice once you logged in, you got a new menu, this black one across the top. It allows you to make changes to the site. It also tells you how many people are on the site at the moment, and here's your log out button. So right now we have one user on the site, and that is an authenticated user. Obviously that would be me. If you and I were both on it at the same time, it would say 2. If you were on it and 150 people who were not logged in were on it, it would say 150/1. Anyway, so like I said, this is your homepage, and you're going to want to change some things on it. But in order to change them, you need to know sort of what's going on here. So each one of these regions, right here where it says this red region, is called a block. This whole white space has several different blocks in it, several different regions. So like announcement and news takes up one region, upcoming events takes up one region, extreme sponsors, the sidebar, takes up one region. And each of those regions, like I said, is called a block. So depending on where you want to put things, you put them into different blocks. Maybe you want something in the menu, you put it in the menu block. Maybe you want something to show up here in this yellow section, that's called the leaderboard block. And I'll walk you through those here in a second. So like I said, each of these things goes in one particular block. In this case, all of this content is generated based on other pages on the site. So when you put in a new announcement, it shows up here as well as on its own page. So if I had 3 announcements, they'd show up here, then one under it, then one under that. That way you can start pulling different pieces of content into different places. And that'll make more sense as we go along. So one of the first things you're probably going to want to do is add something that says like, welcome to the B-D Avalanche Center. So we're going to actually put that not into a page, but into a block, because it's never really going to change, right? It's always going to say, welcome to this Avalanche Center. We're these people. And it's probably going to want to show up first thing people see on the homepage, so above this most recent observations. So to do that, we're going to go into site building. We're going to go into blocks, those regions that I was talking about. Let's go to list. You'll see these 2 options for listing, tapestry and garland. Those are the 2 themes of the site. This one with the red bar and the menus and things like that is the tapestry theme. The other one you'll see in just a second. So let's go to listing the blocks. And this now gives us a page that shows us where all these blocks are. So this section up here is called the leaderboard. This section right here, hard to read because the text is in white, it's called the header. This section is called the suckerfish menu. So this is the user 1 block, user 2 block, user 3 block, etc. The outside sidebar block, the content top right block, the content top left block, so forth and so on. And then as you scroll down, you start seeing what things are assigned to different blocks. In the leaderboard, their banner has been assigned up there. That's going to be like the picture that goes across your website. The suckerfish menu, the primary links, which are these links, have been assigned to the suckerfish menu block. Makes sense, right? The outside sidebar has upcoming events and an event calendar on it, so forth and so on. So down here you can see what's assigned into those different blocks. And what we want to do is create something to put in on the home page to say what's there, to welcome people to the site. So we're going to add a block. We're going to call it the welcome text. And the block title is going to show up, if we put a title in here, it's going to show up on the page above the block, and so in bold. So we're going to actually title this something that we want people to see. Welcome to the B-Bar-D Avalanche Center. Then let's type in what we want it to say. Welcome to the new B-Bar-D Avalanche Center. We are a startup, and you can write whatever you want and add whatever you feel is necessary to put in there. So anyway, we've created the description that's going to help us find it, the title, which people are going to see, and then the text that's going to go in there. As you scroll down, you see the different things you can configure on the block. Custom visibility settings, and that is allowing you to control who sees it, or how people can or cannot see it. We want everybody to see it, so we don't need to check any of those. This would allow us to say only specific people can see it, but we want everybody to see it, so we aren't going to check any of those. And then this says where we want it to be seen. We only want to show it on the home page, so we're going to check show only on the listed pages and type home. And that would be the path for whatever page it would be. If it were observations, it would be different. If it were, and the path is simply the address in the web bar. Okay, so we're going to save the block. This is going to take us back to the block pages. Oh, one thing you'll notice when we went to add block, the site changed color all of a sudden. And this is basically whenever you're doing administrative sorts of things, you're going to be in a different theme so that you know you're doing administrative sorts of things. And if you see this theme, then the public can't see what you're doing. Only when you're in the other theme will the public see what you're doing. So this is all the back end stuff. And I did that so that it's easy to know which is which. Okay, let's go back to blocks. All right, we're back on our blocks page. Now we got to find that block we created. It's obviously not assigned a region yet, so we're going to scroll down to the disabled ones and look for the block we just created, which is the welcome text, right? And then we need to put it somewhere. Let's put it in user 1 because we want it to be up above the first thing people see on the home page, right? So it's in user 1. And then once it's there, we can go down to save blocks, save blocks. Let's go back to the home page and see if our changes happened. Look at that. So now we have welcome to the B-Bar-D Avalanche Center. Okay, so if you wanted to change that, you'd go back into blocks, list, tapestry, look for that block again, which is in user 1. Here we are, welcome text. Configure that block and it'll take you back into this section and you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, let's go back to the home page. So that's how you'd add and change a block. So this is also a block. It's in the footer block. Let's go look at that. because I know you're going to want to change that. Since I don't know what you want to say in there, we aren't going to actually change it. I'm just going to show you where it is and how to do it. It's in the footer, which is the footer center, right? There it is. So let's find footer center. Footer center, donate to the Avalanche Center with PayPal. Configure, and then you can change that to whatever you want. Okay, back to the home page. Alright, so in snow conditions observations, I didn't put all those regions as separate menus. What I did was put them in as separate regions here. So that when people put the observation in, they check the region they're submitting the observation for, and then it lists them here by region, or by date they were submitted and by region. So I think that's a better way of doing it, unless you're going to get hundreds of observations from each region. So until you get that many, I would say stick with it this way. Okay, so the next thing you're probably going to do is create some pages, because obviously I have a Avalanche Education menu here, but I don't have all those pages you wanted in there, because I believe you wanted several other types of pages. So you wanted workshops and classes, essential gear, Avalanche statistics, recommended reading, blah, 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 blah. Each one of these can be a page, because they're probably not going to change that often, right? So, except for maybe workshops and classes, that we may want to do something different for. So let's start with essential gear. We'll go back to the website, and we want to create a page with a menu link under Avalanche Education. So let's go up to Content Management, Create Content, and you can see the different kinds of content we can create. Announcements, Avalanche Observations, Avalanche Education, Events, Page, People, Snowpack Observations, Sponsors, and Story. In this case, we're just going to create a page. Each one of these content types has different fields that you can, they're specific to that content type. So an Avalanche Observation, for instance, has Avalanche and Snowpack Observations have a whole bunch of fields related to Avalanche and Snowpack Observations. Avalanche Education allows you to say what types of education people provide. Events allows you to put in dates and prices and things like that. Announcements is a little bit smaller than other things, and it's more for news-based stuff. Page is just a generic one that allows you to create a web page. So, like I said, we're going to create an essential gear page under Avalanche Education. So our title is going to be Essential Gear. Whoops, I need to make sure I type that right. Here we go. Essential Gear. I believe that's right, but I can't spell, so let's look at the way you spelled it. With a T. Essential Gear. Menu settings. We want the menu to be, we want it to show up here, right? So it's going to be the parent item is Avalanche Education. So you've got to look through this thing until you find Avalanche Education. It'll be under primary links. So that's down here. Primary links. Home. Let's see. Avalanche Education. That's what we want our parent item to be, which means it's going to show up under this menu. We want the menu link title to be whatever you want it to be. Let's call it Essential Gear. Weight tells you where it is. So our body, you need to take blah 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 blah. Here's some links, and you can. This is just like writing email. You can include links or images or all sorts of things, and then there's a spell checker as well. So for now, that's going to be that. Then as you scroll down, you see file attachments, path settings. This tells you where the address is. So we want to make it something very easy for people to read. Essential Gear is going to be the web page address. Authoring information, it's authored by me right now, but you can change that. Publishing information. If you're working on it and you don't have time to finish it, maybe don't check published so that you can keep working on it later. But for now, we're going to publish it. Save. So now we have this essential gear page. You'll notice here's the address of it, and here's our page. If we wanted to edit it some more, we can click edit right here. And then it shows up under Avalanche Education. Simple enough, right? Okay, so if I wanted to edit the page, I can either click here and edit it, or I can go up to Content, List, here's my page, go over to Edit. Those are the two ways to edit pages. Next, you might want to edit the menu links. So if I wanted to edit the menu, I would go over here to Site Building, to Menus, List Menus. Remember, all those that bar of menus is under the primary links, and then I can edit the menus. So say I want to delete archived observations. I'd go over here and go delete. I'd confirm that, and that would be done. I'm going to leave it there just in case you want to use it later. And then you can move things around, or change them. If you wanted to change the path or anything like that, you just hit edit on whatever menu item you wanted to edit, and this is going to tell you where it links to and all that fun stuff. So if I wanted to change the page it linked to, I'd change this. If I wanted to change the menu title link, I'd change this. The description is only what people see when they mouse over the thing. If I wanted to disable it, then I could uncheck enabled. If I wanted to move it into a different column, I could change the parent item. If I wanted to move it up or down, I can do it here or by dragging it on the previous page. So that's how you change menus. Let's go back to the home page. So we've seen how to change blocks, we've seen how to change menus, we've seen how to create and edit pages. And the other thing, another thing that you're going to maybe do is change the color of the site. And that's under themes. So go up here to Site Building, Themes, Configure, Tapestry, because Tapestry is the theme everybody sees. Okay, so here we are. We can change the color. Well, I'll go through all these one at a time. So this tells you what displays on the theme. If you click site name, then Avalanche Center template will show up on there. You can change that, obviously. Site slogan would show up underneath that. Search box, shortcut icon, all these things are going to show up right now. So for now, I'd say just leave these checked as they are. You can experiment with them as you want to and go with that. The logo image is the banner across the top. So that would be right here, i.e. this thing on our page. You probably want to upload your own. And the way you would do that, let's go back into themes. Site Building, Themes, Configure, Tapestry. Is I would upload a custom logo image. Browse, upload, and then it should work. So let's try that. Let's make this your logo. Okay, so we're going to upload that. Once we save it, it should go. The shortcut icon is this little guy, or right here. You can make your own and upload it there as well. Theme-specific settings are the color scheme is this thing. All these are different color schemes. Experiment with them to find out which ones you like. This is the width of the page. This tells you where the sidebars are. This is the sidebar width. Again, displaying which sidebars are where, and the widths, the font, and then you've got your menu alignment and things like that. So all we did to change it was upload a new logo image, which again is that banner image. So we're going to save that. And let's see what happened. So yeah, now we have this logo image here. Obviously, you probably don't want Slide Snow School as your logo image, but you can make your own. I'll eliminate that before we continue. Okay, so now we've looked at how to change blocks, how to add blocks, how to create pages and menus and edit those, and how to change something on the theme, colors or icons or things like that. There's a whole bunch of other things in here that get more complicated, and I'll be glad to help you with those as you need. But for now, I'd say most of these things, you're going to want to create a Snowtail Raws sites page, a weather links page, an essential gear page, an avalanche statistics page, a recommended reading page. Education links, there's already a content type for those, which might make it easier. And there's already a content type for sponsors, so we'll go over that. And you're probably going to want to create or edit a contact us page. So the other thing we might want to do is create a way to put in workshops and classes, but we'll need to talk more about that in person. So, okay, let's look here. So you've got all those pages to create, and then let's look at some of the things that are already in there. Create content, Avalanche Education. So for education links, we would put in the name of the provider, whoever that is, what classes they offer, or just checkboxes, where they offer classes. We should probably talk on what you want these to say, who they're certified by, what their logo is, what their link is, or what the link title is. So like Slide Snow School, and then the link URL would be www.slidesnowschool.com. Their location, and then maybe a brief description. And again, here are some of the menu settings if you wanted to have a specific menu page for that education provider, and if you wanted to name that path, and then you can publish it or not publish it. So anyway, that's how you create Avalanche Education providers. Let's look at another one of the content types that's already here. So we're going to create content sponsors. Right now, sponsors have 5 different categories. If you want to keep that, you can. If you don't, we can change it. You just put in the sponsor name and the logo. So that's pretty easy, and then they would show up under the sponsors page, and then the highest ones would show up in the extreme sponsors category, which is in that vertical sidebar on your home page, and then the horizontal ones at the bottom of all the other pages down here. So other content types, announcements. Like I said, this is just small announcements. You don't have an advisory page, so I'll take this section out. Again, it's pretty simple. If you want to create an event, the event is a little more complicated. Again, we're going to get you a Google Maps API. It's free. So here's the event. It's got a title, from date, to date, price, description, poster if you have posters for it, the location of the event. If you're selling tickets online, you might have a link to use to do that. Some ticket disclaimer things. So that's events. They're a little more complicated. Where were we? Content, events, page, people. People is another content. It's just a way of saying, okay, here are the people associated with this Avalanche Center. They, their position and office or whatever. So you may or may not use this. I left it in there, and we can talk about whether or not you want to use it. Okay. Other content types that are out there: snowpack observation and avalanche observation. And those are pretty self-explanatory if you go into them. Again, we'll get you in a Google Maps API. So I added these regions. We're going to change some of the wording in here. Obviously, we'll want to change that, and I'll probably leave these examples unless you have specific things you want to change them to. And then there's a map that shows up here once we get your Google Maps API up and running that people can click on. So this is the avalanche observations. It's got a bunch of text boxes and drop-down menus and places to upload video and pictures and things like that. So, and the snowpack observations looks very similar. Okay, so this is a pretty long movie, and hopefully it'll get you started on playing with the menus here and creating some new pages and moving forward in that way. Like I say, we'll probably want to talk about a different way to do workshops and classes because I can think of a kind of neat way to do that. And we'll talk about some of the other wording areas on there, like the different regions and things like that that you may or may not want to deal with, like where people provide their avalanche education and stuff. So, if they're on a different location. And right now, this avalanche education link just lists all the education providers in this format. And they'd have a logo here and a link here if I put one of those in. So, play around with it, see what you think, and let's talk more later. All right, thanks for watching and hope this helps some.